When you buy a property with outbuildings, it's always exciting what the possibilities are as to what they can be turned into. Could it be more accommodation? Could it be a large workshop? Could it be a gym? Endless possibilities. But the first thing we had to do was to actually uncover what we had here. So in today's episode, I'd like to talk you through the barns, what we found when we got here, and what our plans are for the future. When we first arrived here at the recycled farm, I could just about stand at this gate, but moving beyond it into the courtyard was impossible. I shot this next piece of video when we first got here just to show what it was like in this courtyard before we started clearing the vegetation. Take a look. Rather dodgy gate, and into this sort of bit of a wonderland really. I think if you come in the courtyard of buildings, you can just see one of the old barns there. This one we think is the over. This is a huge tractor shed barn here, believe it or not. Bring this vegetation back. There's another sort of single story part of the barn. Thick undergrowth going on here. I mean, you can't really see anything through there. So the first thing we're going to do is put a path in so we can get in to the various sections a bit easier, and then we'll tackle the undergrowth in a bit more detail. And then the fun began, because we set to work with a big flail mower on the end of a telescopic boom, which allowed us to sort of cut through loads of the stuff. And although that took quite a while, that turned out to be the easy part. From then on, it was a case of painstakingly removing all of the ivy that was stuck to all of the walls of these buildings. Every single inch of wall and build part, roof, any part of this was completely and entirely covered. There were trees growing around and inside the building, so it really took us quite a long time, 6 weeks in fact, to uncover what we now see, which is the barns in their current state. This is going to become the first building that we actually start to work on. This is going to become two bedroom properties, quite large ones actually. The first one's going to be about 2,000 square feet, the second one's about 1,400 square feet. Both two-storey for parts of it. This whole area here of door is going to become all glass. So this is going to become, I think, quite an amazing property. It's south-facing, looking over one of the really large meadows that we have, and I think it's going to be absolutely stunning. Inside is really a blank canvas. It's a huge building with a great amount of volume, some wonderful old rafters inside it. I mean, this was used purely as a machine store, tractor shed. This is going to be amazing to keep part of this space full height. So certainly the entranceway coming in through the main doors where the big open glass area will be, both sides. This will be a big full height voluminous reception hall with the stairs going up. You will come into a space which doesn't feel cramped, it feels big, it feels airy, there's lots of light, there's lots of views out over the wonderful environment outside, which I think will lead to a very peaceful, great place to live. Now this little door is one of our favourite little features of the whole place, because this was the entrance from the house which is behind you, and was the entrance into the stable. So the horses came into the courtyard, but this was then the convenient access from the house into the stable yard. So this has got so much character in here. I really love it in here. This has probably got the most characters and features left in it from most of the entire place. So our intention is to use all of the sort of original old panelling here and the stalls and stuff that we had in the stable, separating the different parts of the stable for the horses. These will form part of the bedroom, so that your divider between your sleeping area and your living area will be the original stable stall. But then from this point on, leaving the stables, this connected originally through into more stables, but since we were looking at the house and trying to buy it, a big part of it fell in. It never fills me with confidence coming in here, because every time I come in here I hear something creaking and banging and whatever, so I like to get out as quick as I can. Now they always say don't worry about cracks unless you can put your hand in them. Well, I can put my hand in it, so I guess I'm going to worry a bit about this one. But then again, you can soon see what the problem is. All of these lime trees here once probably formed a really nice little screening from the house when they were about 5 feet tall, but they've been left and they're now probably about, I don't know, 25 feet tall, and clearly the roots have started to attack this building and the wall, which is why we've got cracks and various issues. So one of the biggest challenges we're going to have at some point is taking these trees out and then trying to secure the foundations underneath. We're going in here now. This is the end of the big barn. It's actually going to be the living room of the largest sort of unit that we're making. In fact, one of the previous owners used to live in here. Oh my word, this always makes me laugh coming in here because it's almost ready to move into. We've got a fireplace, we've got art on the wall, there's a kitchen that we can use. It's pretty much ready to move into, so nothing to do here, already converted. Just going to take a look inside here. I always open these doors with some degree of trepidation because I've had barn owls and all sorts of things flying out on me, but I think today, because the camera's rolling, nothing's going to happen, but let's go and take a look inside. Hopefully here you can get a really good sense of the scale of these older sort of wooden built buildings. We've got a lovely wall at the end there and really nice good height. It's about 6.5 meters to the top there, so it's going to be really good for putting in, you know, a bit of a mezzanine floor and then having the bedrooms looking down over it. But the intention is to have it to look pretty much internally the same as it is today with the big wooden frame, and then try and insulate on the outside before we then put the cladding back on the outside. These cart lodges here, which will eventually become the parking for the retreat centre, complete our little tour. So hopefully that was interesting. We start building works here in 2 weeks' time. So press subscribe and really keep up to date with everything we're doing as the work hots up and things get very interesting. See you next time.